Hello everyone, this is Vivi Cameron here, and today I'm going to share with you how to make these memory book albums, and they are super duper easy to make. Of course, I added some extra. I added handles and also different things or embellishments that make this project a lot more fun. This is a project you could do without dies, but today I'm going to be using the Tonic Craft Kit number 32. This kit includes confetti, Nuvo drops, a package of Nuvo alcohol markers, and I actually didn't have these shades, so it's great because I can add them to my collection of Nuvo alcohol markers. And there is also paper. You will get foil paper, texture cardstock, pearlescent cardstock, mirror cardstock, glitter cardstock, and well, this paper is high quality. One of the things that people love about this kit is the die set. This is a massive die set. It includes 14 individual dies, and the kit also includes this little Nuvo agenda. I like this color more than the orange one, so if you are subscriber to the kit, you know what I mean. This kit also includes a stamp set, and it coordinates with the theme of this die set, that is to create a memory book. So all you need to create a memory book, the main die is this large die here. You need to cut 2 pieces, and the sky is the limit here. You can make this in many different ways. I'm going to show you just one way to do this. So I'm going to add glue in this area here, and I'm going to adhere one piece behind the other one, just like that. Once I have this in place, you can see there that in the back I will have that pattern and that design, so it's all in one go and only with one die in this kit. Then I'm going to fold the paper, and I'm going to just give the shape to the outside of the memory book. This measures 1.5 inches by 4.25, and from side to side, or the width of this memory album is 5.25 inches. So I'm going to start by showing you how I made these cute handles. So first I'm going to choose the paper, and I choose this paper here that is exactly the same paper included in the kit, but in another color. It's kind of a champagne color, ivory color. I'm going to cut this at 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to use the full length of an A4 sheet of paper. I'm going to fold this in half, but I'm not going to fold the whole piece in half. I'm going to leave 1.5 inches from each side without folding. So I'm going to get a piece like this. Then I'm going to add glue in this area here, or this channel, and I'm going to start moving that paper and giving shape to that paper with my hands. So what I'm going to try to do there is, when I'm gluing this, I'm also going to break the fibers of the paper with my hands, and I'm going to do this very gentle because I don't want the paper to crease or to tear. Then I can also use a bone folder to help me to get this nicely done, just like that. And the next I'm going to do to give shape to this handle is to use a corner punch, just to punch the edges of this handle like that. And to embellish these handles, I'm going to use a piece of this pink paper, and I'm going to fold this like that. Then I'm going to grab the handle, and I'm going to wrap the piece around this area there, so that I can just make this in the perfect size. I'm going to add glue, and I'm going to use clips to hold the paper in place while it dries. I have an old applicator to add little gems and this kind of studs on fabric. This has glue in the back, so all I have to do is to heat this up, and that glue is going to melt and is going to be adhered to the cardstock or to any other surface. But in this case, I just wanted to use it because I have it there for ages and never use it. So That's it. I just adhere those little embellishments to the handles. Once I have that done, I'm going to die cut a flower also using this die included in the die set, and I'm going to cut that shape in 4 so that I have the 4 corners to decorate the memory book. And you will see just in a minute how I do that. And I'm also going to add one of these silver embellishments that it has been designed to embellish a pocket for the memory book. But I'm going to put it there just because I just want to do something different with that die cut. And you might see this very quick, but it took me an hour to put this together. So it took me that long, especially because I was gluing this kind of cardstock. And one of the tips I have for you to glue over this kind of cardstock is to add the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to allow it to dry for a little bit, and then place the other cardstock over, and the papers are going to stick together a lot quicker. Then I was thinking how to keep this closed, and I'm therefore going to use magnets. These are tiny but really strong magnets, and I bought them years ago on eBay. So I'm going to add a little drop of Nuvo Deluxe adhesive there. Just place the magnet there, and then I'm going to place other magnet just behind. This will keep the magnet in the front in the right position until it dries. Once it dries, I have to place or trying to find the right position for this magnet. I'm placing the magnet there, and I'm closing this so that the magnet in the front is going to hold the magnet in the back. Then I have to cover those magnets somehow, and that was very easy to do. For the magnet in the back of this one here, I'm just going to use a die cut, and I'm going to glue that die cut around that magnet. I'm going to make a lot of pressure on that area until the die cut is firmly adhered there, and it's going to stop that magnet from falling. So that's it. And then from the magnet in the front, I'm going to just place a decorative die cut over, just to cover it. And to make sure that the magnet is not going to fall, I'm going to use double-sided adhesive foams, and I'm also going to adhere the magnet to the cardstock using Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. I'm crazy about adding the handles to this, but that's the last thing we are going to do. So now I'm going to work in the inside, and to do that I need to cut or partially die cut the spine. I'm going to elongate the spine, and to do that I need 2 pieces like this one here. Please know that there are many ways to do this. This is just one idea. I want to share with you another idea, so stay with me until the very end of this video, because I made 2 books and each one has a different spine. So here I'm just folding the paper like I'm doing a mountain after a mountain, and I'm not having valleys between those mountains. So what I'm going to get is a very narrow and tight spine. So I'm going to glue this, and I'm going to show you what I mean. Just one thing, if you decide to go for this kind of a spine, please bear in mind that the paper you are going to use needs to be thinner, okay? Because this is a very narrow and tight spine. Then I have my paper there, and I also wanted to show you that if you use the die, you can die cut the perfect size of panels for the memory book. And then you can adhere those panels on the spine like that. So one of the panels will go adhere to the front of that little flap you see there, and the other one to the back. And by doing the spine this way, I'm only going to have 2 pages. So I need to elongate this. So I made another one, exactly the same. And I could do another one as well. I think that will fit perfectly 3 or 4 spines like this one. So all I have to do is to make sure that this will fit in the space we have for the spine. So this have to be 1.5 inches. It can be wider than that. So I'm trimming here any excess of cardstock and I'm customizing that spine. And once I have that done, I'm going to adhere those pieces to the spine, one next to the other one. The only thing you need to bear in mind there is that these pieces need to be adhered within the scoring lines of the spine. And apologize because I missed a chunk of the video and it was just when I was gluing the spine in the first panels. But you can see here how the spine is looking, or how this kind of a spine is looking. So this has a kind of V shape, the spine. Then you can just glue the panels to the sides of the spine, never over the spine, just after the scoring lines of the spine. And then you can also start gluing the pieces that are going to complete the book. Okay, so to create the pages of this book, I'm going to use card bases I got left from another craft kit, and all I did there was adhering one in the back of the book, and now I'm adding these card bases over the spine. So you see there, I just glue the card base in that spine there, and now I'm going to adhere another one in the back. So when I do this, I have to adhere the back of the card bases together, and instead that I decided to make a pocket. So of course you can die cut that piece to make a more interesting pocket. I was just improvising, and at the same time this is a very basic book, just to show you how to do it. Another thing is that by using card bases, instead sandwiching the spine, you will get more pages. I added 9 pages in total, but I could add a lot more. And I also could add more flaps to this spine. But I just choose it to do it this way, just for demonstration purposes, okay? There are so many things you can do inside this book. Pockets, and you can also glue the paper in different ways, so you can make accordions or many different things. You can also do an explosion box, and I wanted to put all my attention on the cover because actually the cover, it was kind of the main deal. Of course the spine is the other one. If you see there, with a very small spine we can get all these pages, and this is just one of the spines I want to share with you today. I have another spine that you might know already, but if you don't know it, I want to share it with you anyway. And I think this is looking pretty cool. So I just wanted to make a small tag as well. I use 2 dies in the set. Some of the stamps coordinate with the gift tag, some others no. So I found that it's easier to stamp the paper and then die cut it to create the tag, and that's what I did. And I just attached the tag to the handle using twine. You will find that dies in the die set will help you to create decorative pockets or panels for this project, but you can also add on many other details. You can also use any of those dies to create different projects, to embellish panels of boxes or cards. Regarding this project, depending the colors of the cardstock you use and the embellishment you choose, you can create totally different handbags or suitcases or bags. You can make vintage bags if you like. You can also add flowers, you name it. The sky is the limit. And one idea I would like you to consider is to make recipe books for Christmas. I'm not into memory keeping, but I like recipe books. Or for example, if I can make like a artist bag, and maybe that artist bag will be black, or maybe it will have some floral pattern. What is going to have on each page? Well, you can add, for example, your favorite ink color combos, the brushes you use, your top secrets for stamping, top secrets for die cutting, and tell me how much it costs. because I will buy it. Anyways, the sky's the limit. You know, you can get creative. Another thing that came to my mind when I was doing this is, for example, you can make a lunch box, and because it has the perfect shape for any small suitcase or box or things like that. So you can also make this for children, and you don't need to add pages inside. You can also customize this to be a woody bag, so that you just need to adhere to the spine side a cello bag or some kind of bag with hoodies, and that's it. So now I'm going to show you another way to make the spine. Okay, so for the next book, I'm just going to use the frame die to partially die cut a piece of cardstock to create this piece here. And then I'm going to adhere that piece behind a complete piece that I cut with the same die. So basically I'm doing the same but a little bit different. So I don't have that decorative part at the back of the book. And for this book, I just add a pocket at the back, but I use this die cut shape here to do that. So next, I die cut two spines exactly in the same way that I did for the pink book. And this is the way I fold the paper for the pink book. So the spine is always going to give me this shape. I don't want that. I want to make a mountain, valley, spine. So to do that, I'm going to use the die anyway, the same way, but I'm going to score an extra line. But because this is not exactly or precise, I need to fold the paper a little bit, and I'm going to score at ½ inch. So you just need to score at ½ inch after the last scoring line. Then we are going to fold the paper, but this time we are going to create a valley, then a mountain, then a valley, and then a mountain. Just like this. So actually you will have that separation between the flaps of this spine or those parts in which you can glue your pages. And when you adhere this properly, this is going to be narrow, so you will have a space to elongate the spine as well. So that's what I'm going to do. And here I can show you exactly how to do that. So this is how the spine is going to look. And you will see that the flaps in this spine are separated. So when I place it on the spine in the book, I see that I have room for another spine. Then I'm going to use the spine that I have on the table. I'm going to fold it and cut any excess of paper and customize that spine to suit my needs. So once I have done this, I check if this is the correct size and if that spine fit between those scoring lines, and it does. So I'm going to glue this third flap over those other two like so. I'm going to use liquid glue to do that. And I'm going to hold this on place because this needs to be totally straight. Then I'm going to adhere this on the spine on the book, and I'm going to make sure that this is firmly attached. So I can use a bond folder or my fingers to press this down and to make sure that that's perfectly adhered. We don't have any air bubbles or anything there. And that's it. I'm not going to show you how to adhere the pages over this spine because it's exactly the same than for the previous one. The difference is the look and feel, and it's about preferences, honestly. I like both depending what I want to do, to be honest. Another thing I was doing here is I just use a strip of paper that measures 5 inches and a half by 1 inch. And I use this die to die cut it to create an accessory for this book. This is another idea for you to use the dies in the kit in a creative way. And I really love those dies that are supposed to be created to cut the spines and to allow you to thread ribbons and stuff on the spines. I will never do that because I found that tedious, because I have to cut every single layer of paper that is going to go threaded on the ribbon, and no thank you. So I prefer to do something different with those dies. So I'm sorry for saying that, but seriously, I think that's a lot of work. And I like to keep things simple. So I'm gluing here that piece and I'm finishing other little parts I might need to make it functional. So as you see there, with a little piece of paper, you can just easily make a lash on a piece just to keep this in place. So find my way to adhere the pieces where they should go. And because this is pearlescent cardstock, the glue takes longer to dry, so I have to wait for the glue to dry. And then I'm going to add that little flower there that I die cut also using dies in this die set. Okay, so I already adhered the handle because I could not resist to adhere that handle. So I'm going to hold the paper just with a pair of clips, just like that, so I can keep working. So I adhere all the pages, but the last one is a top folding. So you can do that as well. I just easily decorate this page here just by adding a die cut. So if you see the book from above, this is looking different than the previous one. And perhaps I like this one a little bit more because it looks more symmetric just by looking from the side. I also noticed that I therefore need to add a magnet to keep this closed. But I'm not going to show you that again because I did that in the previous sample. The last thing you need to add if you are going to add handles is the handles. And that's it. I hide the magnets behind that flower there. And these magnets are so strong that it's still holding the paper together. And the proof of that is that when I lift the back, just by holding it for the handles, it stays closed. It doesn't just fall apart. It will fall apart if we don't add the magnets or Velcro or something else to keep it closed. So that's it. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel, to share or to like. Those are good ways to support this channel. And don't forget to visit my blog for more ideas and inspiration. You will find the links of supplies used in this video in the video description. These kits are sold out very quickly, so I hope you can grab one, but if you can't, please bear in mind that you can also do this without dies. The dies will make the job a lot easier, but you can totally do this without dies. Last but not least, if you are looking for the perfect paper for die cutting, make sure to visit the Tonic Studios shops. The links are in the video description. Thank you very much for watching and happy crafting. Bye!